And now you're working. Okay. All right, no one in here yet. To those of you watching on the replay, hello. Completely unplanned, and for a minute there, didn't look like it was going to happen at all. Because I usually when you click the live button, it does the little thing saying going live, gives you a few seconds to, prepare yourself, and then you're off. And it was just spinning round and round endlessly. I thought I was going to have to give up for a minute there. I had a funny 5 minutes. We've got 2 people in here already. Squig Boss Mad Knobs. Hello, you git. I'll just enjoy my brew for a little while as people filter in. So like I say, it's completely unplanned and prepared. I just thought, you know what? I have not been live for a very long time. And I was just chatting to my good pal, Mr. Dreadwire Gaming, and I was saying to him, I was thinking I'm going live, I'm not sure. He's like, yeah, go on, do it. So I was like, yeah, why not? Sod it. So here I am. And hopefully I can talk about something constructive and useful or entertaining or a combination of them. No promises. Jambo says happy bank holiday, happy Good Friday. Happy Good Friday. Yesterday I completely forgot it was Good Friday coming up today. G the Hyper Sapiens in here. Hey buddy. And Voodoo Fairy. Hey. Got a few of you in here. 7 people in here. 2 likes. Nice. I suppose I better say something constructive before I start earning them likes, eh? So, little update. There is a video going live, not live, but a video coming up at 6 o'clock this evening on my channel. Oh my God, I can feel a sneeze coming. Yeah, don't. It's okay. I think it's gone. So I've got a video coming up at 6 o'clock this evening, and it's I won't spoil it, but there'll be a video popping up 6 o'clock this evening UK time on my channel, so make sure you check that one out, guys. And if any of you didn't already, last night was the premiere of the War Boss show. We did what did we talk about? We talked about unpainted armies, whether they are a sin or whether they're they're okay, and whether people should be shamed for not painting miniatures and not having stuff painted and things. And it was an interesting discussion, and the chat seemed to go well. I wasn't available last night for a lot of it through the premiere. I was kind of late to my own party, and then I had to disappear out of it as well. But the other 3 war bosses were in there in the premiere chat having a good old chinwag. And it is beautiful and sunny out there today. After this stream, I need to get outside and get some of that precious vitamin D. I need to get out in that sunshine. It is absolutely beautiful out there today. But us nerds don't do well in the sunlight, do we? G says, smash that like button, ladies and gits. Also, Stevo framed pictures coming soon. Roxy's in here. Yeah, some bitch. I was just starting that new mobile Warhammer Fantasy mobile RPG joint. Where it can wait. Well, you can do that at any time. Look, you can do that on the toilet, can't you? I suppose some of you might be watching me on the toilet right now, or in even less savoury places. I think it'd be quite impressive it would be quite curious to know like what percentage of your views on like any YouTube video is viewed from the toilet. Come on, we'll do it. Roxy says I'm on the toilet. There you go. There's one at least. Who else we got here? We got Gear Guts Mech Shop. Good morning, he says. It's just afternoon here. We've just gone afternoon this end. Angus says we are indoor kids. Yeah, we are. So I'm going to get out there. I'm going to get out there in the sunshine after this live video and fry like a fucking vampire. Jambo says, I've just been to the toilet. Well, good. I hope it was a good bowel movement for you, sir. Dave Dog, people who have grey minis should be frogged, marched to the police station for immediate prosecution. Well, Dave definitely watched last night's video then. It seems we didn't get through to everyone. But no, it was an interesting discussion, and I think everyone seemed to the chat seemed to be lively, and everyone was getting involved with it and that. And Dim, I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched it yet, because some of you may still not have watched it yet. But Dim getting his, you never know what he's going to get up to with the editing, with the outtakes and stuff at the end. It's God bless him. But yeah, I might actually do a little bit of painting on this stream, not too much, because I'm more interested in interacting with you guys, really. But I will get a little bit. I'm going to work a little bit on my Gear Guts Mega Dread. So you can see the yellow on there. I think what I'll do just while I'm on this stream is give a second coat of the yellow, because some of the yellow is quite strong on there and quite good, but some of it's just very faint first coat. Literally, I was just laying down where the yellow was going to be. I don't think I'm going to apply any more yellow to it. No, I mean, to be honest, I think like the base colours that's essentially what he's going to look like, but just obviously much better with shading and light highlighting and, a tidy paint job and that. But yeah, essentially, I think I've pretty much picked out what the colours are going to be. And then I've just got to make him better, really, and tidy him up and get him to the stage where I can wash. And then obviously I will paint some details of like some of the cabling and stuff, and, pick out little bits, after I've done the washing and bits. But yeah. So I might as well get out some of the old yellow paint, haven't I? Before I do that, though, see what's going on in the old chit chat. Oh wow, there's lots of chat that I've been missing. See, this is a minute. I'll take my eyes off the screen for a minute. Oh no, I've already read most of that. No, there hasn't actually been a lot of chat. It's a cold, snowy day, says Gear Guts. I'd much prefer to fry like a vampire with the air conditioning going than freezing. Roxy says, I have grey minis, unassembled but grey. Needs some black flames, boy. It's funny you say that, Rox, because I think I am going to do that probably on this shoulder pad. But yeah, I need to get the yellow. I'll just get the yellow done there first. But yeah, I was planning actually to do some sort of sideways flames. I was tempted to go upwards, but I might come sideways. I don't know yet. But yeah, there will be some black flames going on him, because yeah, black flames are cool. Bad Moons love a bit of black flames, don't they? But yeah, I'm not going to do a whole lot. I'm going to keep it largely pretty simple, really. I've done me hazard stripes on the chainsaw. Just seemed apt, and it works with my colour scheme, and I think it looks quite cool. Adds an extra little bit to it and that. But what I like about what Gear Guts has done with this is the checkers are actually where you see the checkers on here. There's a couple of little ones there as well that they're actually molded on, so it's that makes it so easy to do checkers. I have done a few freehand checkers and stuff, but when they're like that, it just takes all the difficulty out of it, and it makes it so easy to do. But I tell you what, in doing the checkers, I've discovered the joys of this stuff. Army paint and matte white, people. It's a beautiful white. Goes on so silky smooth. It's not chalky at all, and that's over black as well. That's, I mean, I will go over them again just to tidy them up, but that, what you see there, that's one coat over black. You can't say that about GW's white, can you? And it's just lovely. It's lovely. I recommend it to anyone. Recommend that to anyone. One of their best paints they do, I think, and I've not really ever used it that much before, but yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with it. Right, but where is my desert yellow? Let's get that on the go. Almost run out. I have got another one on standby though. Yes, I have. I got nervous the other day. I thought I was going to run out, but I do have another one on standby ready. Some of my most common colors I use, I like to have the backup ready for when I run out. Dave Dog says, Stevo and everyone, how much did you pay for your 2,000 point army? Basic Minis Codex cards. The Dark Artisan was on YouTube and he reckoned it would be £1,000 for Chester. I don't know. I've not calculated it up. I could add it up. How much I paid for it might be harder to do because the prices have gone up since buying them, and I bought a lot of the stuff from third parties, and also a lot of the bits, some of the bits I've used and stuff have been like bits, and so pricing up some of it would be hard. Like my tank busters, for example, pricing them up would be hard because they're mostly boys and looters and bits to make them into tank busters. They're my own thing, so yeah, I don't know, but it'll be a lot. It probably, I don't know. Yeah, you'd probably be around. It'd be expensive anyway. It'd be a lot of money. Unger says, I love doing hazard stripes on all my power claws. Yeah, power claws do look cool with hazard stripes. Look out, Gits. This thing is dead killy. Damn straight it is. Hello, you Gits. The Git man is here. How's you all keeping? And then Roxy says, no, Git man. I think Roxy stumbled upon, basically, we need Gitman for your channel, your videos. Anyone doesn't know, actually, Gitman has a channel, a new channel, one of our youngest members of the 40k Orc community, and he's starting out early, you know, new. But I think we need to help him create an intro for his channel, and I think he has to go down the Gitman. I think that would be quite cool. Jambo says, I buy from third party, Facebook and eBay. Yeah, I buy a combination of all. I've bought secondhand stuff and rescued it. I've bought third party providers where you get the 10, 15, 20% discounts. I've bought from a local hobby store. I buy from GW when I have to, like when that's the only option, and that is the only time I buy from them. Like when they've got their like web store exclusives and things like that. Giga's Mech Shop. That Mega Dread cost me $8 to make. There you go. So there, look at that, guys. $8 for one of them, eh? Not including the base. Yeah, so I stuck him on a base. I like when things going on base, isn't it? I'm working on him. I'll show you what I've got up to update. Might as well, since he's there, show you how I'm getting on with my squig off. Very careful not to drop him, because he is not glued to his base and his howl door is not glued on. But that's where I'm up to with this fella at the moment. That is squig off coming along. Again, just getting the base colours on. There's no detail work or anything yet. But yeah, he's coming along nicely. He's getting there. And again, with this, you see the checks are molded in as well. There's lots of like details like molded in, so it's fun to paint this one. I'm having a good time painting this fella. But yeah, he'll be going on a base as well. These are Gorkanaut size bases, by the way, for both the Mega Dread and the Squig Off. So I like basing stuff. I base even the stuff that comes without bases. I like putting them on bases. I think a base gives a model a home. You know, it sets it in its scenery and ties it in. I'm wondering about my grot tanks, whether to put them on bases when I do them. This is another Gear Guts mini. Well, part Gear Guts, part Puppets War or Cromlech. I think it's Puppets War, but I can't remember. Yeah, got that one. And this one that this is part GW, part Ramshackle Games. But it's sort of a bone color at the moment, but everything you see in bone will be white, except for the checks, everything you see in the bone will be yellow, except for the checks, which will be in white. And I haven't done the checks that side yet, but I don't know. I need more yellow. I think I kind of ran into a dead end and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with it. I don't know where it's going. And at the moment it's too black. And it's like everyone was joking when I put the picture on, saying, "Oh, it's a nice goth tank," because at the moment it looks very goth. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of ran into a dead end of it. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So he's just kind of been left to the sidelines for the moment. But he can stay on the sidelines because they're just a fun diversion project at the moment. What have we got here? It's The Gitman says Zogoff Roxy. Orc stuff. I'd need to calculate about 40 years of inflation on mine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what you paid for it originally would probably be an absolute bargain in today's money. Angus says all my orcs are secondhand from Gumtree or eBay. Gita Hypersapien says the Orc Knight. I presume you're referring to this fella, mate. Yeah, he's got a he has got a knight look to him, isn't he? I guess. I mean, I'm not sure like the scale of the knights. There probably are a similar sort of heights. Actually, I guess you probably could use it in a game and use knight rules if you were that way inclined. You could probably do something like that. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Stevo is evading more boys like the plague. Yeah, I am at the moment, but not for much longer though, Roxy. Not for much longer. I do intend to get some more boys done. I just need to get this. My main two projects at the moment are the Mega Dread and the Squig-Off. I want to get them done. The Mega Dread because he is the centerpiece of my Dread mob, and the Squig-Off because he is the ride for my Tank Busters. And then after that, I need to bulk out the troops a bit more and get some more boys done. I'm not looking forward to it, but I will do it. Gear Guts Mech Shop says Knights a little bit bigger, but yeah, if you extended the legs up a tad, you could get them to be knight sized without too much problem. Well, there you go. Yeah, he's. I mean, I will use mine as a Mega Dread and stuff anyway, but yeah, it's. I guess that's an option out there for the thing. G says Stomper is a bit basic in look though. Yeah, the Stomper. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Stomper. I think you could work with it. I think there's good elements to it, but I've talked about that loads already. Right. Anyway, should I paint or should I smoke? Maybe I'll have a quick fag first, eh? Let's have a smoke first, and then we'll get some paint on, because then I can chat to you guys. If I do a bit, I will. I promise. I'm saying it on this video, so you guys can hold me to it. I need to just get a bit of yellow on this during this stream, and I will do that. But I'm just going to have a quick cigarette just while I, socialise with you guys and have a chat. Don't want to ignore you. It'd be very rude, wouldn't it? So Gear Guts says, now, Stevo, what would you want if you got to redesign the Stompers look? I would. First off, I would change it so it didn't look like it was wearing a skirt. I would bulk the arms up more so they don't look so spindly. And I would make it, I think I'd take a lot of cues from the Gorkanaut or Morkanaut a bit. And well, I tell you what I'd want it to look like is if you go back and look at the epic scale Stompers that were in epic, they were more squarish, not fully square, but they weren't completely round. They were a bit more squarish off, and they just looked. I would like to see that scaled up to 40k scale. And just obviously more detailed and more posable and stuff, because they were just literally, they had a cannon on there like that and a chainsaw just up in the air like that, and they were just like that. And so that would obviously not look good, but the actual sort of design of it, like, yeah, I'd go for that a bit more. But yeah, there's just there are bits like the I love the way that it's got like the little grot towers coming off of it and stuff. That looks cool. The armor plates on the actual body itself looks cool. I've always hated the arms on it, especially the gun. The gun, you've seen so many scratch builds that people do. And there's loads of great scratch builds, but there's loads of other scratch builds that where I look at them and you can just tell that it's a scratch build, if you know what I mean. You can just see that someone's used like straws and pipes and stuff and made the gun, and it just, they seem to, when they scale up things like guns, they lose detail. It's like they just have like, they take a normal gun and scale it up, but then it doesn't quite work. I feel like the guns and stuff need more detail in them. But yeah, nothing too drastic from what it currently is, but just I always liked, I'll say I love, one of my favourite ones from Epic as well was the old Mega Gargant, which again was very square looking, and had just like rows of cannons on its front and stuff. You know, if Forge World or someone were to one day create, you know, the 40 scale version of that, like, I mean, I'd never be able to afford it, but it would be cool just to know that it exists and look at it and drool over it. But yeah, that's, you know, that's what I would personally like, because I mean, I love the Gorkanaut and Morkanaut designs. I love those miniatures. I think they're amazing, but others hate them. You know, they really divide opinion, the Gorkanaut and Morkanaut. Dim, for example, he describes it as a wardrobe on legs, which I don't see an issue with. To me, a wardrobe on legs, that would be an Orcs way of designing something, I think. Dave Dog says, smoking a doobie and talk about Eldar. No. I ain't going to be talking about Eldar unless I'm taking the piss out of them. Rock Lobster says, I got the Frozen Sonic Mighty 4K Mono 3D printer. Blimey, it's not the most catchy name, is it, mate? Another day I might pick your brain and make something. Cool. Well, hell yeah. Yes, I'd like to be involved in the design process of that. I know when you've been in the Discord before, Gear Guts, you've been creating something, and we've all sort of been in our, what was the one? Roxy's War Boss model. I remember playing a part in the design on that, and, you know, saying about various ideas and things that could be put on there, and that was good fun. Sort of a collaborative design effort, you know, sort of thing. It was good giggle. Roxy says, I'd go less moo more miniskirt. When everyone talks about moo all I can remember is the episode of The Simpsons where Homer tries to become morbidly obese to claim disability, and he goes in the clothes shop and he's like, what have you got for like someone my size? And it's just like moo and ponchos, and yeah, that's all I think of when I say that. Crotch cannon, yes, I do like a crotch cannon or a belly gun on a stomper, and I think that always looks really cool. Tommy Grimbooter says epic gargants look better. Mostly Zen Mega Gargant YouTube special. Angus says the Gargant from Death Squadron. Garrick says Orkanauts are sick. I presume you mean Gorkanauts, buddy. And yes, you're right. They are sick. Sick meaning good, yeah. What else have we got going on? The chat's moving fast. Gitman says, I would want a Mega Gargant back. We Orc players need something that will stand up to the Imperial and Chaos Titans. Yeah, Epic was cool. I know they've got the new game out now, the sort of similar kind of game that I think is kind of there to kind of compete with BattleTech. It's kind of their Knights and Titans game, and the miniatures for it look lovely. But it's, for me, I don't know. I'd prefer it if they went full on with the Epic and you got the little bases with the tiny little miniature soldiers and that, and the tanks and stuff. I loved all that. I thought that was quite cool. Just sort of change it up and modernize it a bit, put them on round bases rather than the old square bases, and yeah, they were quite cool. Mostly Zen says the Gutbuster belly gun was the original Epic name for the crotch cannon. Yeah, I doubt GW would call it a crotch cannon, would they? Geargut says, I tend to steer away from the crotch cannon, but if you're taking away the moo, it could be mounted in the actual belly or the torso. Rock Lobster says, sick equals good. Yep. Jack P's just coming in and said, howdy, folks. Lupus says, Adeptus Titus is carp. Is carp? The Epic was awesome. Carp. I'm old, man. I'm not down with the kids lingo. Is that a spelling mistake, or is that like some new kids lingo that I am not aware of? I am so old now. Like, I know, you know, you're old, right? Because what was it? I said something. I said some joke to my 5-year-old daughter the other day, and she just went, oh, "Daddy, you always say that." And like, it's just like, you know you're old when your 5-year-old daughter is rolling her eyes at you. It's like, oh, you're not funny, Dad. God, where did my youth go? Eh? Just disappeared. Disappeared, never to return. Lupus said, crap, saying it nice. Right. Okay. You can't be jumbling up letters, man, expecting an old fart like me to know what you're saying. You're allowed to say crap in here, mate. You crap. Say it as much as you want. You're likely to hear worse coming out of my mouth. So don't worry about that. Roxy says, I'm not much younger than you, Stevo. Yeah, but you're still in your 30s, Rox. 30s is, you know, I'm 40 now. And that still feels weird to say. Tommy Gruber, Stevo, what are you wanting from the Orc Combat Patrol set? Yes, boom. So, hell yeah. I did write that in the title, didn't I? The Gitman says, oh, poor Daddy Stevo. No worries, we still love you. Gitman, please never ever call me Daddy Stevo again. It's very unsettling. Good question, Tommy Grimbooter, because I did write that in the title, all about beast snaggers and stuff. So it would be wrong of me not to talk about it when I've put it in the title. That's how you get dislikes, people. Velcon, sexy Daddy Stevo. It's better that I just don't respond, isn't it? Because the more I tell you not to, the more you're going to go onto it. Well, I've seen. Obviously, we've seen a bit. We've seen the first of the. I can't remember what they're called now off the top of my head, but the guy riding the pig squig. I foresee. So you get a 500 point. You get a combat patrol army in a box, didn't you? 500 point army in a box. So we know we've got a rough sort of idea of the sort of what's going to be in there. And what's the bare minimum? Sorry, guys, I've gone a little bit out of focus. It usually sorts itself out. Should I piss about a bit, or should I just carry on talking? Well, I'll try. There you go. There you go. Stay there. It's because I'm smoking. I think the smoke wafting in front of the camera makes it go out of focus. So your bare minimum, you need an HQ and you need a troops, don't you? And then from there, you can have whatever. Not whatever, but you can, there's still restrictions and stuff, but yeah. So we need an HQ and we need a thing. I foresee my prediction, and we'll see if I'm right when it happens. My prediction is that it's going to include a lot of the new Beast Snagger stuff. Because I think that's going to be the big thing that they're pushing and selling and that. I don't think it's going to be a sort of generic Orc set. I think it's going to mostly focus on the new stuff. So I think what you will get in there is most probably that new Bone Boss, maybe, potentially. Although I still think there's scope that he may be a named character. He may be a new named character. He may be a generic sort of Bone Boss, whatever he ends up being called officially. Everyone keeps calling him the Bone Boss at the moment. So I think it could be him. Or depending, we don't know yet whether like the Pig Doc and stuff, whether they'll be like an HQ choice. I think the Pig Doc was more likely to be an elite choice. So I think we'll most likely get him or something similar. We'll get the obligatory squad of boys to fill out the troop slot. Whether that is new boys or the existing kit, don't know. I wouldn't bet money on it. But I'm still hopeful. I'm still holding out that we could get a new boys kit. Not 100%. No guarantees. The video was, there was little things they said in the video that kind of hinted towards new, like old stuff as well as the new stuff. But either way, whether they're new or whether they're existing, we'll get a squad of boys in there. So that's your compulsory units. Then I think we'll get a unit of 3 of them pig squig riders, which will fill out like your fast attack slot. Then that's not likely to take it to 500 points, is it? We think, what would you be thinking? You'd probably be thinking about 80 odd points for there, 100 points for there. And then I think like one other thing, I think another unit of something, I don't know. It's hard to say, isn't it? It's hard to say. Might be like, you might get like, I don't know. I think the riders will be in there though. I reckon we'll get the riders in there. Maybe some kind of support character like the pig doc in there or something. I don't know. Might not be a huge amount of miniatures in there, but I think it'll be I'm looking forward to it because it'll be a cheap way to get the stuff, you know, early on. Save money from buying it individually and that. Did anyone see Auspex Tactics April Fool's video yesterday? I watched that. I was watching it through and completely forgot it was April Fool's Day for a bit. And he was scaring the shit out of me with the stuff he was saying. I was like, what? No. He did this whole thing about how Orks are being renamed Orks and how you're going to basically be able to use all the Age of Sigmar stuff in 40k. And I was like watching it go, no, what are they thinking? This is wrong, wrong, wrong. And then he talked about a new battle box of Space Marines versus Orks. And he showed like you got loads of Space Marines in there and hardly any Orks in there. And I was like, oh, man, this sounds terrible. And of course, I was like, oh, it's fucking April Fool's, isn't it? Like, of course it is. Roxy says, quit smoking and get a vape, less deathly. Do you know what, Roxy? All jokes aside, I am seriously considering and thinking about giving up the smoking. I really am, especially as I'm getting older now. I ain't getting any healthier. Garrick says, new boys, if they come, they'll be in the box, I reckon. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Dave Dog says, how did you fall for that? I don't know, mate. I was tired when I was watching it, I guess. I don't know. DeGitman says, Stevo, I'd say that if we get new Ork Boys kit, the boys will be, hopefully, very similar to the existing boys. I think they will, mate. I think they will. I think we've seen that. I think they'll be slightly changed. I think they will be slightly less hunched. They won't have the big bum poking out, which some people hate, some people love. Personally, I like it. I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Yeah, I think they'll be a little bit more upright, slightly smaller heads, but you're still going to mix them in with your existing boys. And I think it'll, I still think for years and years and years to come, we'll see all the old school boys still on the table because we've seen the one riding the pig squig. We've seen the ones on all the new buggies. They still tie in all right. They do have a slightly different look, but not so different that they can't intermingle and mix. So I'm happy with that. Dread Wars here. Sorry, it was a choice between tune in or go scrape paint off my trailer. And well, sun's out. Here now, what I miss. Not a whole lot, mate. Just Gitman and Velgarn getting a little bit creepy with me. And we've been talking about beast snaggers and combat patrol boxes. But yeah, exciting times of all that stuff. And I will be covering some videos on the channel coming up in the future. I will be talking about like predictions and speculation and stuff and going into it a little bit deeper. Obviously, I did the reaction reveal video at the time the news dropped. But yeah, there's quite a lot more. Other people have done videos on it. Pale Orc did a good video on it, talking about his predictions and stuff for the Codex and things. And I've got a lot of thoughts on that I want to share. I think Codex will see some big changes. I think clan traits are due for a big shake-up. I'd say to anyone, don't get too comfortable with the clan traits you've currently got, because I think they could be due for a big shake-up and a mix-up. Not necessarily all of them different. Some may stay the same, but I think some will. Yeah, I think some will get a bit of a shake-up and a bit of a change. I think they'll try and balance it a little bit more. I feel like Death Skulls may come down just a nudge, and I think ones like Snake Bites and Goths and Freebooters may like raise up a little bit, just to sort of bring us all a bit more in line together, that no matter what clan you go with, they've all got some kind of edge. Because some of them are, Snake Bites are probably the weakest of all the clans in our current codex. But I think with all this Beast Snagger stuff coming out, it's going to inspire a lot of people to to go down the snakebite route, and the old ways are the best, and that, and incorporate a lot of that sort of stuff into their army. And I think whenever GW, whenever they focus in on particular clans, you see the community follow it. And why does my camera keep unfocusing? I'm just here. Like, why are you struggling with this? Just focus on this, the big beautiful bald head. That's all you got to focus on. You've got one job, camera, one job. There's nothing going on. Nothing's changing. So why are you freaking out and unfocusing all the time? I know I'm moving around a little bit, but it's not like I'm doing like a dance or anything, Geargut says, compared to other codexes, all except the Death Skulls could do with a clan trait upgrade. Yeah, I agree. Ghosts in the hobby room. Dreadwire says, too much glare from that shine. Yeah, I know. Big Mech Dan Skull in his house says, snake bites can suck a fat one. Death Skulls need a boost. Fair play. Right. Jeez. Blowing the dust out of my palette. I say palette. What it is an old glass jar that did once house a cheesecake. But I use them as little pallets because they're good. And I can't be fucked to piss about with me wet palette. No wet palette? Oh, no. No wet palette. Right, look at this. I'm going to get some paint out. But yeah, if you enjoy watching me paint, then check out the video at 6 o'clock this evening. Another plug, because can you hear that? It is my desert yellow is finally running out. I think I'm just going to really try and get the last of it out there. Get my money's worth out of this pot. You have served me well, old friend. I have to hook that mixing ball out, wash it off, and well, I don't need to wash it off because it'll be going straight into the next one. The unused desert yellow. Right, I need a decent sized brush. That'll do. That's moderate. I've got a bigger one there. How's that one? Oh, bit crunchy. Didn't wash that one off well. Yeah, he's all right. Fuck it. That'll do. There we go. You'll do nicely. What we got? I'm confident that Evil Sons will stay the same. Also, your camera is being fucked up by the grots. Maybe. My prediction is grots will cost 6 points in the Codex. Velgan, are you just trying to stir the hornet's nest? Because if so, well played, sir. Gearguts, culture-wise, nah, Death Skulls are good. Model-wise, nope. We can get upgrades for. Bring on the new decks eventually. Rock Lobster says Death Skulls are balanced to everything else. Evil Sons almost even. The rest need a buff to equal these two. Big Mech says wet pallets are for amateurs. Yeah, and he also says grots are OP. Dan Skull, you are on one today. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new Codex, but do you know what? I'm not in a rush for it. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also not like desperate because I could play with our current Codex and Saga of the Beast for another couple of years and still have things, combinations and stuff to try out. I think we're in a really good place at the moment. We might not be top tier or whatever, but I'm not overly fussed about that. Just in terms of being able to create fun lists and different varieties and try out different combinations, I think we're in a really good place. Saga of the Beast was the best thing to happen to Orcs on the tabletop for many, many years. It really was. Custom jobs, clan-specific psychic powers, stratagem upgrades for your bosses and your mechs, just cool new stratagems, subculture. There's just so much in there, and so many cool combinations, especially with like your HQs, like your big bosses and stuff. you can create a truly devastating war boss with some of the combinations. And yeah, it's just good, really good. Yeah, Saga of the Beast, awesome. And yeah, I have only just scratched the surface of, you know, the possibilities and the potentials and the variety. And so I would be quite happy with it for another couple of years, to be fair. And still, you know, a couple of years down the line, I'd still be finding new combinations and new tricks to try out on my opponent. And yeah, I mean, I do hope that this 9th edition sticks around for a while. Watched Aeons of Battle, a cool channel that I watch. I really like his channel. Check out his channel if you've never heard of it. I mean, I'd be surprised if you haven't, because he's one of the bigger boys on YouTube lately. Seems to have had some quite big success lately. He makes some good discussion based videos and quite thought provoking topics and stuff. But he also he gets in a good bit of comedy and stuff in his videos and some tongue in cheek stuff. He's good. I like his content. And he did a video just recently talking about codexes and if they're still have a place in like this, you know, in this age we live in now, this digital age, and if paper codexes and that still have a place, and whether they're an outdated kind of thing. And he made some good points on there, and you know, I didn't agree with everything he said, but he did make, you know, he spoke quite a bit about I mean, he did say the 5th edition Necron Codex was better than the 3rd edition Necron Codex, which I massively disagree with. But yeah, he was good video. I'd recommend a watch. But he talked about codexes as he was talking about being like a subscription based service. So you just all digital stuff and that, and then you get for the diehard sort of collectors / fans, for them to do like a book of just fluff and artwork, like lore and art, and like for a collector's piece. So rather than buying, your codex would be digital, because they may as well be, because everything's just FAQ'd and updated so much that the print ones are so out of date so quickly, that he said that it's kind of pointless putting them in print, and that you could still do for the people that really want to get into the faction and learn about it and stuff, you know, the books would still have a place, but just for like lore and artwork and stuff. And hell, I would definitely still I'd buy the books if it was just literally stories and lore and artwork, and you know, and like they used to do the old codex, like ideas, like hints and tips and stuff for painting guides and things in the back, and you know, who knows, even conversion ideas and stuff, you know, things that they used to put in the codexes. That would be really, really cool. I'd be quite up for that, I think, because I do like having the rules in book form, but you don't really use them that often because they get outdated and changed so quickly and FAQ'd. A lot of them do anyway, points and things, certainly. I mean, it is mostly the points, isn't it, that get FAQ'd. And the rules and stuff, in terms of data sheets and that, not too much. They tend to stay fairly similar. It's more the points and things, which is when they redesigned them for like 8th edition, that's why they didn't put the points with the data sheet. So they said that they could update the points and stuff separately without mucking about with the data sheet. And I think for the large part, they mostly do that. But yeah, I'll when I finish painting this bit, I'll look up and see what all of you think on that, because I'm sure you've all been debating and sharing your own personal views on it. But yeah, it's going to be, oh man, is everyone, are you all out there saving your teeth? Are you saving your teeth for the the beast snaggers, the codex, the combat patrol box, all of that? Because I think it would be wise to. I know a lot of people are sort of snapping up, start collecting boxes and, you know, other kits and that in the sort of fear that they'll be gone soon, and to sort of grab them while they're still there. But I'd be I mean, it's a worth, you know, if you want them, now's the time to get them because they won't be around for long. But I'd just say be wary, you know, blowing all your money now on getting stuff that you worry is going to disappear, and then when the new stuff comes out, you don't have enough money for that, or you buy it anyway and end up getting yourself into debt or something. And you know what? Like, I'm probably going to get a lot of it, if not all of it, for channel purposes, to like review and stuff, and you know, do unboxings and things. But I will say, I've said it before on the channel, you ain't got to buy it all straight away. It's not going to disappear overnight. It's going to, you know, when they release them, they're going to be around for a long time. So you don't need to rush out to the shop day one and buy every single thing, because, well, you're not going to build every single thing. So you could spread the cost and buy it a little bit at a time and add to your army slowly, you know. But we do like to just rush out and buy tons and tons of boxes and then sit at home with them and feel massively overwhelmed, which I see all the time. I'm like, why? You can only paint and build one of them at a time, unless you're insanely fast at doing it. You might as well buy them one at a time and just chill a bit. I mean, the Combat Patrol box, definitely. I will buy that. I'll buy the Combat Patrol box. I'll buy the Codex. And I'll buy the cards, you know, because they'll usually release the cards alongside them for the, you know, your stratagems and that, because like, fuck using stratagems out of the book. That is so shit. Honestly, since I bought those cards, I never looked back. I was like, yeah, I'm never going back to doing. And then Saga of the Beast come out, and I still have to use some of the stratagems out of the book, which sucks. But yeah, I do love the psychic power cards and the stratagem cards and things. To be able to have them makes it so much easier in the game, because you can select the cards you want, like that you're planning to use, have them ready on the table. Makes it so much easier for you to like not forget stuff and keep track of stuff. Oh, this boy's going to take a long time to paint, but it'll be worth it. Worth it in the long run. Well, I've almost used up what little bit of paint is left in this palette now. So as soon as I've finished this little bit, I shall pop him down for a minute and see what's going on in the chat. Oh, it's nice going live again, though. I've not been. I can't remember the last time I did a live video. Months and months ago. It has been a while. But yeah, GW, man, they surprised me again. I think I don't think any of us were expecting what they revealed, were we? If we're honest with ourselves, unless some of us had a bit of, you know, someone in the know that knew something. I don't think a lot of us were expecting the direction they went in, where they were going to go like, you know, full on feral, you know. A lot of us with our predictions and ideas, we're quite conservative. We're like, oh yeah, they're going to do a new this and a new that. They're going to, and we don't often consider that, you know what, they're not going to do any of that. They're just going to come out with something completely fucking new and blow everyone's socks off. But I am pleased to see that they're most likely, not confirmed, but hinted at massively, that we're going to get a new mega armored war boss. That seems pretty safe bet at this point, going from the picture and what was said in that trailer. And the fact that it's, you know, it's a completely different design to anything they've currently got, you know, with the grot on the top with the big shooter and stuff. So that's probably the miniature that's excited me the most out of everything that they showed off within that artwork. We had a lot of the rumor engine picks revealed. All those rumor engine picks that have been doing the rounds for a long time. We revealed a lot of them. Like we see the knob, the Beast Snagga knob, which we think he is. It's got the shoulder pad, the squig shoulder pad that we saw, and the slugger and the chopper. We saw the axe thing that's held by the grot riding the pig squig, and something else as well. that I can't remember that was also shown. But yeah, a lot of them all revealed. So we finally got answers, or at least partial answers. We've seen the artwork of this stuff. We haven't actually seen the miniatures yet, but I think it's just a case of keeping an eye on the Warhammer community page and keep checking in on that every day to see when they reveal more, because they're going to drip feed it to us. I think they'll drip feed us little bits of info leading up to the release. They will build that hype train with my support, obviously. Boop, boop. And the rest of the community, because we all do love to get on that hype train, don't we? It's half the fun, isn't it? Build ourselves up into a frenzy, ready for disappointment. No, do you know what? I'm much more optimistic, I think, for these releases. I think there's judging by what we've sort of seen in the artwork, there's a bit of something for everyone. If beast snaggers aren't your thing, well, look, it looks like you've got a new war boss coming. You know, there's a bit of variety there. There's a lot of stuff there, and a lot of scope to be able to, you know, muck around with this stuff and change it. And yeah, I think it's going to be good times ahead. Even for people like if you've got Boar Boys, some of the old school players, if you've got your Boar Boys, well, happy days, because now you're going to have some really cool rules to use them in. Like, just use, because currently people use Boar Boys and they use the biker rules, which is serviceable, but it doesn't really reflect them. Or I'm sure the stats for these pig squigs are going to be far closer fluff wise to a Boar Boy, because it essentially is a boar, and it's a squig boar. So you, and I think, you know, I certainly wouldn't have any problem with someone using old school Boar Boys in place of them. I mean, scale would be a bit different than that, but yeah. I mean, I'm planning to talk about that a bit on a video soon, actually, and talk about some ideas and things of converting and using counts as rules and stuff for people to kind of do their own thing using some of the rules with this new stuff. It'll be interesting. Right, well, that paint's run out in there anyway, so I've sort of started to apply a second coat to a lot of it, and I think that'll do. I kept my promise of putting on some yellow. I've put on some yellow, not a huge amount, but I've got a little bit done. It's a little bit of progress, little baby steps. Now I can focus on what's been chatting. I won't scroll all the way back through the chat, because that'll take me forever and it'll be boring for you guys. I'll just read what's on there at the moment. Dread says, smash the like button. And for once, I agree with him. Tommy Grimbo, all the rumors were about copters, tank busters, and commandos. Yeah, because that's the stuff that needs updating the most. But yeah, there was no guarantee it was going to be that. I think before they touch any of that, the boys will be the first thing. If whatever they're going to update, it'll be the boys first, because then from the boys, that's what the rest of the stuff will be based on. So if any of the old kits are going to be updated, it will be the boys, and then others will follow later on down the line, like potentially like a lot later potentially. But I think with commandos and tank busters, yeah, we do need new kits, but let's face it, how much fun do we all have kit bashing and converting our own commandos and tank busters? Because they're just essentially boys with rocket launchers or boys with like camo gear and backpacks, aren't they? So it's quite easy for us to, you know, use a bit of stuff from the bits box or green stuff or whatever, and, you know, create our own, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So in a way, it'd be a shame if they did update them and come out of really cool kit, because I don't know, it sort of I think necessity drives a lot of us to do conversions sometimes. You know, when you don't like the existing kit, you're like, I want that unit, I like the idea of the unit, I like what it's all about, fits my army, but I don't like the miniatures. I'll build my own, or I'll convert my own, and it sort of forces your hand. Velgarn says, it would be interesting that they drop the Codex when the animation of Gaz and Yarrick is out. Yeah, I'm looking. That's another thing they're working on. It all the studios working on the animated like cartoons and the movies and stuff. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, I look forward to all of that. It's been a market that has not been tapped into. Such missed opportunities, and it's great that they're doing it, a lot of it in-house and stuff, and they've got it looks like they're keeping quite sort of tight creative control on stuff. which I think is a good thing. I think it would be terrible if, say, like Hollywood got their hands on like the Games Workshop license or 40k license, and then they, I don't know, they did like 40k. They had like, I don't know, Vin Diesel playing Gilliman or something like, yeah, like Fast and Furious in space. Like, ugh. Like if Hollywood got their hands on it, that would be fucking terrible. They would fuck it up like royally. You could just see like all the producers and stuff getting involved and like dumbing it down for like it wouldn't work. So it looks like they're going in good direction with it all. Digitman, I don't think the Squighog boys will have the same movement as war bikers. I think it'll be similar to the Blood Crushers movement. No, I agree. Yeah, they will be different to bikers, but that's why I think they'll be far better to use as rules for your boar boys. I think they'll be far better suited because using boar boys as biker rules, it gives you a way of being able to use your boar boys on the table and do a themed list with like counts as rules, but they don't really reflect them very well, I don't think. Tommy Grimbooter says, lesson learned from the buggies, buy the old kits for all those kits before the old kits and bits go away eventually. Yeah, like I say, there's no rush to grab the stuff. You know, it's the same with like games and stuff, like computer games come out. I used to be like, you know, day one I'd want the game, and now I'm happy to wait. It comes out, I'm happy to wait till it's dropped a bit in price and stuff. Not that that's going to happen with 40k because they don't drop prices, but like you don't need to go out and walk out the store with a big stack of boxes and boxes. I've bought it all. Well, great. It's probably going to be 6 months before you open like one of them boxes because, you know, but people just go a bit crazy. They've got to have it now, and they've got to have it now, desperate. And then it just will sit there unbuilt and unpainted. And we all do it, myself included. We're all guilty of it. Like I said, I probably will, you know, I probably will get it. Gearguts Mech Shot. What about a Fast and Furious film, but only orcs? So all their over-the-top stunts that don't make sense and defy physics would work. Yeah, some of the bullshit that goes on in them films would actually make more sense if it was orcs doing it, for sure. I'm sorry, no, I know there's a lot of fan of them films out there, but my God, they've got to be like the most overrated fucking franchise ever. I don't get it. Everyone raves about them. I'm like, what are you all seeing that I'm not seeing? I don't get it. Don't get me wrong, like they're entertaining and like stupid, dumb, you know, take out your brain and watch them. Yeah, there's something there, but nah, they're not for me. I don't think they're just too dumb for me. No, listen to me. It's too dumb for me. Too lowbrow. Tommy Grimbooter says, I got back into the hobby and bought the buggies, had 0 bits, lesson learned. Yeah. And to be honest, I think I don't think we're going to get a lot of spare bits in the new kits. It's just not the sort of direction they do with their kits now, and it is a shame, and it is upsetting. I think there will be options though. I think we will get more options in these kits than we did with the buggies. The buggies are very they are what they are. You know, there is no options to swap out weapons and change things up. But I think with these, I think we've already seen, we've got hints from these the squig boars, the pig squigs, where we've seen on the artwork ones where they've got like, you've got the ones with the spears, but then, and we've still got the Grot on the back with his axe. But then we've seen on the pictures, we've got like Grots holding sticks of dynamite and stuff. So it looks, I think there'll be little options where I think someone was saying before, saying that you could have one that they're more sort of designed for hunting vehicles, and then one that's more sort of infantry based sort of things. So yeah, it could be interesting. I feel like those spears are going to be like explosive tipped. I think they're going to work a little bit like Rough Riders, where like on the charge, like once per game on the charge, they'll get like, I don't know, maybe they'll dish out some mortal wounds, or they'll get a bonus to their strength on the turn they charge, like first time. And perhaps even the spear can be used as like a throwing weapon. Perhaps it'll get like 6 or 12 inch range where you could throw it. Would be very cool. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the actual rules behind these miniatures are. But I mean, I don't really care if the rules are shit for them. I just think the miniatures look really cool. I'm looking forward to painting those pig squigs, which have mixed views on them. Like, a lot of people saying they're not so keen on them and stuff. They don't like certain elements of them and that. Personally, I think they look really cool. I like them, and I personally prefer them much more to using boars. I think it makes more sense in the lore that we have for orcs now. Boars, I don't think it doesn't like retcon boars. Boars can still be used, and I think you could still convert boar boys and stuff and still use them in the game, and be perfectly feasible lore wise they are. But I just think it makes more sense that they breed them from squigs and stuff, because they would put boars aboard their vessels and stuff and transport them and take them to planets with them and things, and they would do stuff like that. But it would be a lot harder for them to maintain that and keep that going. And a lot of the time, a war is stopped dead in its track. Either a planet is fucking exterminatus and they just wipe off the orc site completely and eradicate them, and that, in which case all the boars would be dead. And then where do they get more boars from? There's not just boars running around on loads of planets. So I think lore wise, it makes more sense that they're orcoid. But yeah, I still think boars, in rare cases, would still be around. New buggies are great kits, but only one of each, then kit bash some others to avoid them all looking the same. Fully agree there, Essex. Fully agree. And you only need one of each to build. And then you could buy more, but you would have to convert them and change them some way. Or, like say, build your own version of. Because, it bugs me when I see lots of vehicles all lined up and they all look the same in orc lists. I'm like, And I think it could happen. I think orcs do set up factories and stuff, and they do make stuff. And I think there could. I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility that orcs would set up a factory line and build vehicles that all largely look the same for a bit. I think they could do that sometimes, but I think it would be quite rare. I think most of the time the stuff's built and cobbled together and scratched, personally, I don't like seeing two orc vehicles looking exactly the same. It's just not really what the orcs are about. Gitman says something else that would be very cool for the Codex when it comes would be if we got fighter ace planes, sort of like giving us our named plane pilots like the Crimson Baron. Yeah, it'd be cool. Special character in an aircraft or so. That'd be quite cool. I quite like that idea, Gitman. That's quite cool. I don't think we'll get it for a second. Do I think we'll get that? But I like your thinking. Kobe Taylor, I like them. I just prefer more squidgy looking squigs. Jonathan Skit says, I like them, but I don't think they would work in my Mad Max orc crew. I don't know. I mean, post-apocalyptic world and stuff, resources getting light. But yeah, you don't see many animals in Mad Max, do you? Occasional dog. That's about it. Murray Proven, random video, but completely welcome. Good. Well, I'm glad I'm welcome. Always nice to be welcome. Rock Lobster, yep, I have one of each, he says. All those new kits will go great with your squig off. Yeah, definitely. I think they'll see. I think Forge World can expect a bit of a surge in Gargantuan squig off sales. Speaking of big things, what about that big chariot fucker, like being pulled along by the big fucking squig fucking bull thing? That looks cool, doesn't it? Which a lot of people have speculated on the tower. It's like a weird boy tower with a weird boy up there. So, and I'm in agreement on that. I think that's the sort of thing we're getting. I think this could be it. It may even be like a big Lord of War unit, possibly. I think this thing's going to be kind of a jack of all trades. It's going to be a big ass centerpiece thing that's got loads of DACA. And then on top of that, it's also spitting out psychic powers. So I think it's going to be a big bullet magnet. It's going to be a big thing that everyone wants rid of. I think it could work similar to it's not the Tesseract vault that the Necrons have, where you build it in two ways. It either be the obelisk or it opens out into the Tesseract, and they've got like the captured shard of a Catan in there, and so it's like a vehicle, but it also throws. It's got it spits out all the Daka, but it also spits out like psychic powers or like the Necron equivalent of psychic powers. They're like psychic powers, but they don't need rules to work. They just work. I've been on the receiving end of them. Thank you, Nick. It was horrendous. I think it could work similar to that. It's just a big, nasty Daka psychic unit that could be really cool, I think. Dreadwar says the Dread Baron. Yes, I like that. Dread, make the Dread Baron. You got to do that for your army, man. Geargut says the bigger wars that conquer worlds take over imperial factories. Armageddon had lore of orcs driving around in shiny brand new Leman Russes and Chimera vehicles still unpainted. Yeah, so it does happen. I think we were chatting about this in the Discord the other day, saying like the lore works for a lot of the time because a lot of the best lore is the exception to the rule. If as long as you don't take it too far, there's always exceptions to the rules. So you can create an orc character that is kind of acts in an unorky fashion. Maybe he's incredibly intelligent, which we've had records that, like Nazdreg, for example, had factories with human slaves and stuff, but he actually rather than like most orc overlords would just beat the slaves, into submission until they do. He actually, it's a carrot and a stick. He actually worked in ways like incentives and stuff for his slaves to work harder and get things done. And like Gigax just said there, like a story of like they captured the factories and they started getting them working and churning out the vehicles and stuff. So they were building their own Leman Russes and stuff. So yeah, it could happen. And I think those exceptions to the rules actually are a really good part of like a lore of your own army, sometimes creating something a little bit unique. Some people go too far with it sometimes and it kind of breaks the universe thing. I think you can take it to silly levels sometimes, which just doesn't make any sense at all. But if you can explain it away in a clever way and you can kind of explain the backstory of things and that, it's I mean, most of the interesting characters that orcs have had over the years are orcs that are unique in some way. They have some unique gift or some unique trait that makes them a bit quirky and a bit different to a regular orc. Chaos worshipping orcs, for example, they do exist. They do have them. Very rare, very un-orky, but it does happen. I mean, even blood axes kind of fill that trait to a degree, where the other orc clans see them as un-orky because they copy like Umi tactics and Umi traits, and to other orcs that seems very un-orky. It's sort of the way that Goths look down on all the other clans as being lesser orcs. Dreadwar, yes, thanks, mate. Don't know. He's replying to someone there. I don't know what that's about. Rock Lobster says, need some big buffs on our troops to compete with them new releases. Yeah, I mean, the rules are all set to change for everything. The points could change, the rules could change. A lot of the stuff we're currently used to using, like I said, don't get too comfortable with it in its current form because it's all subject to change. Who knows? Who knows? I think we can expect some quite big changes in the Codex to a lot of our stuff, both existing and new. It will likely be great to add on top of a battle wagon or large AOS beast if you didn't want it being pulled by a squig. Exactly, yeah, you could do that. You could, yeah, have it being pulled by some sort of wagon or something and change things up a bit. Dreadwar, I'll do an unboxing vid on the commando bits. Good stuff, good stuff. That'll be cool to see. Jonathan says, I'm waiting for that video. Same with Stevo with the car that I gave him. The car that you gave me. You mean this one, buddy? Let me see if I can get it. This fella, Megatrack Scrapjet. Yeah, it's like I said, I've got projects I'm working on at the moment, buddy, So yeah, I'm not sure now. Listen, I'm glad you're in it because I can ask you now live on camera in front of everyone. I don't know if I'm going to do this, but I want to ask you: would you be offended if, when I did open this up and I did use it, if it possibly became something else, or it was used in conversions rather than building it standard? Now, I'm not saying I'm going to do that because I might build it as just the regular thing and use a Megatrack scrapjack because I hear they're quite good. But I'm undecided at the moment. Like I say, he's just sitting there at the moment waiting till I get these other projects done. But yeah, I wanted to check with you first, just out of courtesy, because you were kind enough to send it to me. Would that be rude if I was to rip it apart and build it into something else, or use the parts in other projects and things? Let me know. Let me know in the replies, and I'll respect your wishes on that one. Dreadwar, something you should know about us: we kind of take our sweet ass time with shit. Yes, we do. I want a new Warboss model with a shitload of options and gear. Don't care what the cost. I think a lot of us share your same feelings there, mate. Something that Stevo will be extremely happy for when the Codex comes out: Nasdreg. I would be happy if there was a hope in hell of that happening, mate, but I don't think there is. Not yet, at least. But never say never. I think Nasdreg, they dip into their back catalogue every now and again, and they bring back classic ones. So I always remain hopeful that one day it could happen. Stevo, how's about the return of Nasdreg, the freebooter? He's not a freebooter, Dread. He's not a freebooter. Like, you've got Bad Rock, the ex-Bad Moon. You've got him, right? Nasdreg is just give up. It's not happening, mate. He's Bad Moon through and through. That'd be like saying Gazgol became a freebooter or something. Like, nah. The Megatrack is very good currently, says Dreadwell. I love the driver in that kit. Yeah, he's cool with his old fur collared jacket and scarf and that. Like, it's proper cool. Daydog, I wouldn't be offended at all. It's an Evil Sun's vehicle, anyways. Gigas, I'm fine with Captain Bad Rock, the Bad Moon returning. Well said, Gigas. He still proudly displays his moon logos and that, man. So I don't think he fully turned his back on the Bad Moons. Gitman, no Dread, don't set Stevo off. Dreadwell, I kind of assumed Jonathan knew I'd have to convert. Yeah, if you're ever sending anything to Dread, you have to just accept the fact that it will not be built the way you intended it. He will do something with it every time, like every time. Jonathan says, "Nah, mate, going fucking nuts, but make it Mad Max Orky vehicle." Thank you, mate. So you're basically giving me free reign. Superb. Because yeah, I see a lot of potential in it. But like I said, I might not even do that. I might just build it as the standard thing because it is quite cool. I do like it. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm undecided yet. There's lots of little bits in there that I see potential with, you know. I've got a little bit of that same streak in me that Dreadwell has. Like when I was building the Death Killer War Trike, halfway through building it, I'm like, oh, I could, this bit, like this chassis could make this, or this could be that. I could use that. So no, just build it as it is, and then you buy yourself another one. But yeah, the Death Killer War Trike, there are a lot of good kit bashing and conversion possibilities with that kit. A lot. There's some good shit in that kit that I think you could have a lot of fun with making it into something else. Voodoo Fairy says, every Orc is a freebooter. Nope. Nope. Jonathan, I would love an actual new Bad Moons character. So would I. I would love, which is weird me saying that because I've barely ever used named characters in any of my armies or games. I generally prefer generic characters that you can equip with the war gear and the traits and stuff, and essentially create your own character, name your own character, and put your personality into it. I've always preferred that over named characters, but I still want them. I still think it would be cool that every clan was represented by a named character. I mean, the Goths have got their pick, haven't they? The Goths have got a few now. You've got Gaz, you've got Makari, you've got Zagstrak. Isn't that Big Mech Isn't that Forge World Big Mech? Isn't he a Goth as well? Or am I wrong on that? I can't remember. But yeah, the Goths have got their pick, which does make sense because they are like, you know, the Ultramarines of the Orks. That'll offend some people. But yeah, I mean, and there are good characters out there. I mean, we've got Snickrot. Snickrot, is he a Blood Axe? I think he's a Blood Axe. Book's not nearby. I'm pretty sure he's a Blood Axe. But the thing is as well, because of the way the lists are designed now, I think GW are hesitant to make too many things clan specific because it kind of limits their sales. Because I mean, if you're collecting a Snakebite army and they release a Bad Moon character, you're much less likely to buy it. Which is, as you've seen with these Beast Snaggers, they were very clear in the trailer. They were very careful and very clear in the trailer to say, we're the best, we're the hardest, no matter what clan we're in. Like, it's basically saying to us, the customer, don't worry, doesn't matter what you collect, you can have these, you can buy these. The last thing GW want to do is limit their sales to just one sort of niche within a niche, you know. So yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see if we do get new named characters. We do need more because we've got a shocking shortage of named characters in the current codex. They've been dropping like flies over the years. So that's why I think it would be, personally, I think it'd be really cool if that new Bone Boss is a named character of the Beast Snaggers. It'd be cool to have, I mean, something like that. I've always thought it'd be cool to get like a rival to Gaz. I mean, he does have a lot of rivals out there. He battles loads of other war bosses to take control of their tribe and, you know, defeats them and then consumes them into his like war. But I would like to have some lore on them. I always thought Gruck Face Ripper would have been a cool one to be like a challenger to Gaz. Not that he'd win, but just it would be cool to have that story. I mean, we know he got killed. I mean, it would have been cool if he got killed by Gaz. That would have been cool. To see more sort of inter-orc rivalry and stuff, because, you know, there's always someone jostling for the position, always someone ready to knock you off your perch and take your place. So I think it'd be good for them to delve into that a bit more with some characters. Dread says it will be interesting to repoll the community for clan affiliation a few months after new codex drops to see the changes. Yeah, that would be true. Gigut says, yep, that is true. Grimbooter, I have kept the rider and boss knob from the war trike for knob warbiker conversions. Cool. Very cool. Jonathan says, I can't wait to beat the shit out of my mate's fluffy Death Guard demon prince. We've got a rivalry going between our armies. Yeah, you do, don't you? Like me and Reroll Joe, we have an intense rivalry. It's all good natured and fun, that, but it is, you know, it's proper. Like when we play every game, both of us, we are playing to fucking win, because whoever loses has to suffer the infernal gloating of the other until the next game. And yeah. The Gitman says Big Mech Buzzgob is a goth. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's four characters they've got straight away. And when Gruck was like a named character, in the thing, and he was goth as well, wasn't he? So that they had like 5 characters at one point, whereas the Bad Moons currently have none. Snakebites currently have none. Death Skulls have got Mad Doc Grotznick. I think Blood Axes have Snick Rocks. I'm fairly certain he is Blood Axe. And then Evil Sons, I've got none either, have they? And they do have in the lore, but I mean, as in terms of rules, in terms of data sheets, they have none, which is a shame because they have done in the past. The freebooters had freebooters as well. They've got Bad Rock, obviously, but they also used to have what was the old Psyker? Because he did become a freebooter. He was a Snakebite, but he became a freebooter. The old Zogwart. Was it old Zogwart? One that got bitten by the things when he came out of when he was birthed, essentially, in a snake pit, and he got bitten and he was like immune to the venom, but it fucked his mind and made him So yeah, cool characters, and that's you go in, delve into. I've made videos on them ages ago on an old playlist. If you check out my playlist of should GW bring back, I did like sort of I hesitate to call them lore videos because they're not really, but they're about as close as I've got to lore videos in talking about some of these old classic characters from the past and whether they should bring them back. And yes, they should bring them back because just awesome characters. Jonathan says, yes, Tusker model must be made. Tusker would be, they would sell him by the bucket load if they bought out Tusker. They really, really would. I feel that if they were to create any of the characters that they've never created a miniature for, he would be high up on that list. What else have we got? Gitman, I'd like it if we got Bad Moon flash kits, or where flash kits aren't just freebooter specific. Yeah, I'd like that too. I don't really like the fact that flash kits are just freebooters. And I don't think it's. I see what they say in the law that they become too show offy and too thing, and the rest of the clan gets peeved off with them, so they end up being kicked out or leaving to go off to bigger and better things. But there's no reason you couldn't still have them within your clan as the current clan, like before that happens. Yeah. I mean, it's very Bad Moony to have an Orc knob with a big, super flashy gun. I mean, that's about as Bad Moon as you can get, isn't it? It would seem strange that they would be turfed out of a Bad Moon clan for that. I think they'd be kind of respected for that more than turfed out. Dread Wild says, I know they're not as desperate as other models, but the bikes are rather dated. Yeah, I guess. Tommy says, gaming, yes and no. I'm making an extra bike army as we speak, extending the bikes and making the stubby legs longer. Yeah, they're quite easy to work with, aren't they, in terms of you can do quite a bit with them to make them a bit more. And I've seen a lot of people lately making alt bikers and certainly bosses on bikes now out of the new Primaris bikes, and some of them look really cool. It's made me want to get a Primaris bike just to fuck about with it and see what I can come up with. Jonathan, I really like Gear Guts monowheel bikes. Can't wait to get some when I've got the money. But the biggest hope that GW new model we give us is the Mega Bomber model. Yeah, the one they did for Aeronautica. That would be cool. I think if they do that, it's probably more likely to be Forge World that tackles that than GW themselves. But yeah, it would be cool to have a 40k scale version of that. Actually, Goths have 7 because there is Gruck's Bodyguard knobs, who are an HQ, and the Goth Rocker. They are only available to use if you play narrative. There you go. Plastic Grot tanks. Imagine being employed by Forge World to finish Tusker's severed demon penis. Non-optional. Okay. Snotling War Boss. Yeah, don't think that's ever going to happen. Evil Sons do have a named character. Zagsnark the Ripper. He got moved to Legends. Yeah, of course. Yes, you're right. Yep. Well done. Gene Hype, yeah, I'd love more snots. We got looters, burners, flash kits, busters, and so many shooty troop options. I think it's about time the fighty army got some new melee units. Well, I think that's what they're focusing on with a lot of this stuff, isn't it? I think a lot of this stuff is going to be a lot more heavily focused on melee rather than shooting. Although there is going to be a bit of shooting in there. For example, the pig riders that we've seen don't have any guns. So they're clearly a full-on melee unit. And we've seen there's one riding a squig hopper type thing. The bone boss He's all about melee. So yeah, I think melee for these new beast snaggers, I think, are going to be primarily heavily melee based over shooting, certainly. Pale Orc, I've been playing my Revinwind biker army a while now. You're going to love it. Gearguts, Forge World was to tackle that back in 7th, but the design was dropped. They had a bunch of concepts that were not invested into. The design images are still in Imperial Armor 8. There you go. Forge World and sort of don't seem like to be in a good place lately. Forge World's strange. It's almost like I kind of wonder whether Forge World are going to be around for much longer into the future. The market has changed quite a lot over the years. Where Forge World before were like they were the sort of the next level, you know, of like the real hardcore collectors and people that really wanted to take their hobby to that next level. But there's so many third-party resin miniature companies out there now, and with 3D printing and stuff taking now. And the fact that the way the plastics they've come on so far. Before, like, resin was done, there was stuff you could do with resin, details that you could do that you couldn't do with plastic back then. But you look at the current like plastic kits now and the details and the things they can do with it, it kind of makes the need for that kind of thing kind of obsolete, really. Yeah, so I'm not really sure if I don't know. I'm no expert on the business and stuff, but I just don't see Forge World being around forever. At least not in the sort of the way they currently are. But I don't know. I mean, maybe they still turn a big profit and they do really well. I don't know. They still create, you know, some beautiful miniatures and stuff. But yeah. We say. Gitman, I'd say I have a little bit of each of the 4 war bosses in me. So you're Chaos Undivided then, aren't you? There you go. There's a question for you. If the 4 war bosses were Chaos gods, which ones would each of us be? There's a good question. Maybe we'll do that in a Dread. Note that down, mate. If you've got a pen and paper near now, put it in our list of ideas for topics for the show. That might be an interesting one. Which of the 4 Chaos gods would we each be? I would obviously be Slaanesh because I am perfect in absolutely every way. Dread says I'd be the sexy one. Already taken, mate. I've already picked Slaanesh. Although the way I'm feeling at the moment, I'm feeling a bit more Nurgle. The giant perv. Yeah, all right. He is a bit perverted, but it's not all about perversion and sexual stuff. It is about the pursuit of perfection and excess. The god of excess. Well, god of excess, that does kind of cover you, actually. You are excessive at times. You have to be Slaanesh. Eyebrows doing, nipple talk, vibrating nail accessories. Yeah, you're right there, Tommy. I think I've sealed it there. Geargut says, Scar would be Khorne since he is the most level-headed. Stevo would be Zinch because he gets stuff done and has a plan that takes a long time to do. Dim would be Nurgle because, which leaves Dread to be Slaanesh. See, I would say Dread would be Zinch because he flits from one thing to the other. He's all over the place. And so the god of change, the changer of ways, I feel like he would, and he's always wanting to change shit up. You know? So yeah, I'd see him as that. The Gitman, Dim would be Khorne because he is angry most of the time. Yeah, fair. Dread would be Nurgle, Stevo Slaanesh, Scar is Zinch. G says Khorne, level-headed. Haha, he's bipolar as. Dim's. Well, I don't know. I just think Khorne for Dim because Dim's just always so angry. Jedwar, I'm too much like Gork or Mork in it. Let's be honest. Yeah, you probably are, to be fair. Yeah. Or no, I'd be what's the other one? Malice. I'd be Malice, the 5th Chaos God. Yes, that'd be you, Dread. Malice, actually, that'd be you. God of Anarchy. Oh, it's cool as fuck. Like, if you want to look into some of the Chaos lore and that, like, look up and search up Malice and find out all about the Sons of Malice and everything. Like, if I ever do a Chaos Warband again, I think that's probably where I'd go, because I've always liked Undivided and stuff, but the Sons of Malice sort of seeking, they've got a really cool paint scheme as well. Yeah, very cool. One of the lesser gods, but got some cool lore behind him. Like, he's like the true epitome of chaos. It's like he's like a truer representation of chaos in its undivided form than, you know, the other gods, because he's kind of just literally god of like rampage, carnage, slaughter, and just anarchy, general anarchy of just, yeah, it's awesome, good stuff. Malice is like the wimpy of burger restaurants. What you're saying is like the Virgin Cola. Like, if Corn was Coke and like Snaggas was Pepsi, Malice would be like Virgin Cola, or like, you know, own brand cola. Dread doesn't know whether to be cunning and brutal or brutal and cunning. Well, anyway, since I've veered wildly off topic into talking about chaos on an Orc channel, and the time is getting on, I think it's probably time for me to bring this live video to a close. People, Roller Cola. Jeez, that's old school. Roller Cola, blimey. Panda Pop Cola, there you go. Happy Shopper Cola. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for joining me on this random, unplanned live video. It's been a pleasure. Been going for about an hour and a half now, so I think I'll bring it to a close. Remember, if you haven't seen it, last night was the premiere of the War Bosses of the Apocalypse, where we talked about unpainted armies. Are they okay, or are they a sin on the tabletop? Go and check that one out, because we had a lot of fun making that, and we had some good discussions on that one. I have a video scheduled for upload at 6 o'clock this evening, which yeah, go and check out. And then I've got another one of my range reviews coming up on Monday at 6 o'clock. That's scheduled. And on that one, I'm going to be taking a look at 4 fun miniatures. Those videos have been made, filmed, edited, uploaded. You know, they're scheduled. And now I've got something. Why do I always get something in my eye during a live video or a recording? Every time. Yeah, so go and check them out. And yeah, there'll be much more content on the channel, guys. I'm kind of, I've been back at work sort of on a part-time basis recently, but I am going to be back from next week. I'll be back into full-time work and things, so my schedule will be a lot tighter. But I do plan to keep this momentum going. I'm going to keep content coming out, and I will certainly be with my finger on the trigger, ready as soon as any new news hits on Beast Snaggers and stuff. You can rest assured that it's the earliest possible opportunity. I will keep getting videos out and sharing my thoughts on that. So stay tuned, guys. Anyway, thank you very much, every one of you, for joining. It's been a pleasure. 6+ Stevo, signing out.